Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Working Trader, where we look at the Euro USD and GBPUSD and come up with trade ideas for the day, if there are any. So let's jump right into Forex Factory. So today's Thursday, and we do not have any high impact news for the day. So let's go straight to the charts. So starting with Euro USD. On the daily, this is what we have. Bearish trend, okay, and then we had this pullback. We've mitigated into the premium, and now we've had a reaction, and whether that reaction means it's going to continue or it's just a minor pullback to come back into these areas to continue the internal trend to the upside, we don't know. Okay, but what we know is that the swing range is bearish, and then currently the internal is bullish. So let's go to the 4 hour. So the 4 hour, the swing range is also bearish, and then internal is bullish. Okay, now internally we've already mitigated into premium. Okay, so that means if there's reason for price to continue with the swing trend, then it's really possible now, because price has already mitigated into premium. Okay, and also we can see that price swept these areas, okay, in premium, so took liquidity here in premium. This is the decisional that led to the break of structure. Okay, so price is mitigated, and now yes, we've had a reaction, lower low, and then price has been coming up. So we're not sure whether price is going to continue with the swing trend, or is going to continue with the internal trend, which is bullish at the moment. Okay, so right now what price has done is it has come back up and mitigated this supply. So because internally price is bullish, this is a weak high. Okay, so this supply is not really a strong supply, it's a weak high. So yeah, so let's go to the 15-minute. Okay, so from the 15-minute, the swing range, this is what I have. So from yesterday, we had said that this is the swing range. This was a weak high. This is the strong low. This is the leg that we're in. Price has had pulled back into discount, swept these lows, okay, mitigated this point of interest, and then since then we've been breaking structure internally to the upside. And so yesterday we're expecting price to come back, at least maybe sweep these areas, at least mitigate these areas before continuing to take the weak swing high. However, it didn't reach any of the POIs, but it did mitigate this sell to buy range, okay, before then continuing bullishly to take out the weak swing high. So our new swing range, so this means that we now have a break of structure. We now have a break of structure, and our new swing range is this one. Okay, that's our new swing range, and we've already had a seemingly sizable pullback, so I'm going to mark this as my weak swing high. Weak swing high. Okay, so right now price is in the pullback phase, and we've mitigated this area of supply at the top. okay, high time frame supply, and then we okay, we did mitigate this area on the left, so all of these areas no longer relevant. Liquidity has been taken. Okay, so liquidity has been taken on these areas. Okay, cool. So that high is still holding. Okay. So and then obviously liquidity here, Asia highs was taken. Okay, and then we mitigated that, and then further reaction. Okay, so this is what we have. Um, so this is the swing range that we're focusing on. Okay, so price right now is in the pullback phase, so it is likely price could pull back into any of these areas. Okay, so we do have this relative equal lows. Okay, so right now price has been consolidating. I'm going to take that. Okay, so price during Asia, it has swept this previous day high. Okay, New York high. Okay, so this is what we have. So that's possibly another area which price could come up to sweep. We don't know. Okay, so this area has already done its job. Okay, that's been mitigated. And then this was not supply, it's just a high. Okay. Okay, so we've had a high, low, lower high, lower low, and now we have had this push up. Okay, we've made a high high. Okay, so the range that price is stuck in at the moment would be, let me draw a box around that range, is this range. Okay, so I'm just gonna, let me call it what, demand range. Okay, so at the very least, I would be expecting price to at least come back into discount. Right, so we haven't reached 50% yet. Okay, and then at 50%, we do have this area. Okay, we do have this area, which then led to the break of structure. So this is our decisional. Okay, and then down here would be, somewhere down there would be the extreme. Okay, somewhere down there would be the extreme. So expectation now is that at the very least price to come down, mitigate into this area. Okay, now we could say it has already done that if we're just looking at the sell to buy range. So here price has already mitigated this demand and then gone on to make a higher high. Okay, and gone on to make a higher high. So this is a weak high. Okay, price didn't quite mitigate into 50%, but it has mitigated the decisional. Okay, so expectation may be that price has already fulfilled the objective for the pullback, but we do have this trend line, so I'm expecting price to at least take that out and then continue bullishly. Okay, towards this weak swing high. Whether it does it today again like it did yesterday, we don't know, but this would be the expectation that this is a weak high and internally we are bullish. Swing is also bullish. Okay, and we've mitigated the decisional, which led to the break of structure. So expectation is that the pullback could now be complete. As we can see, price came and then started stalling, and then so we could expect that price can now continue bullishly from this point onwards. So in terms of sales, I mean, to be fair, sales is counter swing, counter internal, so there's nothing really in favor of sales. Okay, nothing really in favor of sales. Maybe accept the fact that okay, we haven't quite mitigated the EQ, okay, or come into discount, so this could be a sweep to then push price into discount. Okay, so unless maybe price starts by continuing up, sweeps these highs, and then gives some kind of a reaction and confirmation to possibly look for something continuation lower, maybe targeting into this extreme, okay, of this decisional, okay, and then but then would have then mitigated the the discount and then start looking for longs. Okay, so clearly the bias is for longs. Okay, we do have reason for price to continue bearish from this point. Okay, so that is liquidity. Okay, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches at least. Okay, so price could very well continue to take out that liquidity. Okay, and then use that to continue the bullish trend. So that's what I'm seeing on Euro USD. Let's go to the pound, starting on the daily. So we know we do have price is bullish, the swing is bullish, internally it's bearish, and then switch to bullish again. So swing and internal, they're both bullish, so it's highly likely that price could continue to target this week daily swing high. Okay, that is more probable now. And then looking at the swing range on the 4-hour. This is our swing break of structure. We had some kind of pullback. Okay, we'll call it internal, and then the internal broke structure again to the upside, and then we had a slight pullback, and then now price looks like it's continuing possibly to take out that weak high again. So focusing in on this area. This is resting liquidity, relative equal lows. We had a break of structure. Okay, all of this has been used up, so no longer relevant. Okay, so this was our range. Okay, this was our range. So actually this is outside of the range. Okay, now of course we do understand that we do have these relative equal lows which will be attacked at some point in the future. So I will then mark this as the unmitigated extreme. Okay, if we take it from there, that's already been mitigated and we had an inducement, and then price went on to break that high. Okay, so this is what we have. So after a break of structure, we expect a pullback. We've had that pullback. So this is a weak high. That's a weak internal high. Okay. Okay. Is this big enough to call the swing pullback? Not yet. Okay, maybe I could then switch it to swing. But for now, let's just call it internal. I mean, it doesn't really change the analysis whether I call it swing or internal. Okay, the bottom line is price is bullish. We did have this break of structure right there. We had a pullback. Let's see, we've obviously mitigated into discounts. Okay, fell short of this, but this is the sell to buy range which has been mitigated. Okay, and that's it for the 15-minute. Okay, so now this high has failed to do its job to break this weak high, and we're having a bit of a pullback. Okay, so whether that means price will come back and this will fail, we don't know. We'll wait and see. Let's look at the 15-minute. Okay, this is the main focus. So 15-minute for intraday, this is what we have. So we're expecting price to do the same as it did on EU, to go on to take the weak swing high. So obviously this is our swing break, this was our decisional, price respected it, mitigated, and has continued to the upside. Right now it's just fallen short of taking out that swing high. These were lows. I was expecting that maybe if price would come in, mitigate, sweep to continue, but it didn't have to. Okay, it was already in discount. This was the decisional, and job has been done. So internally we are still bullish. So I'm gonna remove these. So internally we are still bullish. We've had a pullback. Okay, so this is our internal range. This is my internal range. This is my internal strong. This is the decisional. Yeah, this is the decisional. Is it? Yeah, this is the decisional. Okay. This is the decisional, which led to the breaker structure right there. Okay, internal breaker structure. Pullback. That's not sizable enough. Okay. Yeah, we didn't even reach 50%. So we expect that to be swept. That has already happened. Now whether price will come back to mitigate this extreme, we don't know, but what we know is now price has already mitigated the sell to buy range. Okay, so the pullback could now be complete, and now we could be looking at attacking this weak internal high as well as the weak swing high. So this is what we have. Okay, so this is my liquidation. Okay, so that has already done something. And then what can we see? What can we see? Price has already broken this internal structure. Okay, so we see we have a high, we have a low, lower high, lower low. Okay, so we have a high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then this is consolidation, so all the way to down here, and then we had this high which didn't break anything, so all of this is internal, and then eventually we have a break, okay, right there. Okay, and then now price is pulling back. So this is what we have at the moment. So because of that, I'm actually going to mark this as this is my liquidity sweep demand. That's my sweep demand. Okay, that's my sweep demand. So this has already been mitigated, or at least tapped into. So we could say, okay, price may not come back into this area, and then this is where we have. We still have, trend line liquidity in that area. Okay, so price could still come lower. Okay, sweep this one more time before then continuing. So now, same thing, expectation is that we expect price to continue to the upside. Okay, because this is a weak internal high, and then there's a weak swing high. So everything is pointing up, pointing up. Okay, so whether we come in, price comes down, sweeps these lows, and then continues, that is what remains to be seen. It could just continue from where it is as well, and then just continue going up. Okay, so those are my trade ideas for today. Okay, those are my trade ideas for today. So as always, if you find value in this material, don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to share, as well as leave a comment letting me know how you are using this material in your own trading. Okay, other than that, have a great day, and Working Trader out.